So, quick look at the x-rays. When I take a look at them, I don't see anything super concerning to me. I do see some early signs of that like hip dysplasia type vibe. And what I'm seeing there is like thickening of the femoral head is one of the early signs of that. I'm going to send them out to a radiologist just to make sure that we have kind of the full view, and you know, they look at them all day, so they're much better at it than I am, and I'll give you a call once I have those results.
Okay.
Otherwise, I went ahead and quickly did some math as far as kind of guesstimated appropriate weight. So right now we're looking at right around 78 pounds is where we're at. I think ideal for him would probably be around 55 pounds or so.
Really?
Based on kind of what I'm seeing. He's got a little bit of a tuck, but not a ton. And it's one of those things where when we do weight loss for dogs, we kind of monitor it as we go, right? So we say, okay, well, you know, we lost a decent amount. Let's reevaluate that body condition score and kind of recalculate. And so for that weight, you were spot on as far as how much to give them food-wise. It'll be a cup in the morning, a cup in the evening, but a limit to 2 cups a day total.
Okay.
And that would be probably where I would start, and like that. Work with your primary vet as we kind of move through this, and if you know we feel like, hey, he's losing too much, give him a little bit more food, and just kind of tailor it to him. Yeah. But that would be kind of my start right now, would be to say, hey, let's go ahead and do those things. You know, we'll go ahead and get the payments together for you, and I'll give you a call if we need to change the plan at all based on what the radiologist says. I don't see any obvious like fractures or dislocations or anything.
Okay, and as far as hip dysplasia,
Yeah.
is there anything to curtail that or just to stem it off?
Not really.
and progress
It's one of those things where a lot of times we're dealing with salvage procedures for dogs, and there's some talk. I mean, there's plenty of talk out there about like, let's do hip replacements on them, and there are availability of that. They're harder to find as far as docs that are comfortable doing them. A lot of times you're looking at going to one of the teaching institutes, whether it's Virginia Tech or NC State or somewhere like that. There may be a couple docs up in the DC area that are able to do them, but it's a pretty advanced surgery to that vein too. And so a lot of folks are like, staying off that. And more so saying, how do we manage the comfort level, right? And weight loss is a big part of that, so that they're not carrying more than they necessarily need to. They've recently come out with a couple different injectable medications you can give like once a month to these guys. Librela is the one that I think is going around quite a bit right now. And so that would be something to consider for him if your primary vet's on board and thinks that that's reasonable as well. It may help long term with kind of arthritis type discomfort.
So what's the progression level of that? How fast does it progress?
Depends dog to dog.
Okay.
It's hard to say specifically. If we're managing everything else appropriately, plenty of dogs do just fine. It's just that they have a little bit of a limp from time to time. If they overexert themselves, they may have a couple days down and just need a day or two to pop back to being themselves. But for most dogs, it's just managing comfort. And so that's my best guess right now. The radiologists sometimes will come back and go, no, you're crazy, I didn't see any of that. And hopefully they do. That's good news. And I'll give you an update once I hear from them.
All right, so at that time, so what would be so we'll just take it from the x-rays and go forward.
Yeah, I would say let's stick with that appointment with your primary vet
Okay.
late next week, just to make sure that they're still in the loop and we're touching
Okay.
base with them. And at that point, maybe consider doing one of those long-term things if we're sticking with that idea of hip
Okay.
dysplasia being our primary concern, and kind of work from there.
Okay, but until then, still keep them just...
Yeah, quiet
Okay.
over the weekend, low key.
All right, so you're going to give him some more Rimadyl and
Yeah, I'll send you
gabapentin?
home with Rimadyl, I'll send you home with gabapentin, and we'll work from there.
All right, sounds
All right,
good.
cool.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Sounds good. Give me just a few, we'll get you out of here.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Appreciate it.